In this video we're going to make a beautiful squash soup that you can serve cold or even hot. It's going to be your choice. So let's start. So in this video we're going to make a beautiful soup for the spring that you can eat warm and also cold. Depend on the weather, you know, the weather now is changing rapidly. One day you have -5, 10, one day you have +10. So you need to soup that's actually going to help you go through this. And this one is going to be very nice. It can be heavy if it's warm, it can be light if it's cold. So we're going to make a soup for the season. For this soup, we're going to have two types of squash. As I said, we're going to have the butternut squash that we're going to make from the even part, you know, where you don't have the seeds and everything. We're going to make small cubes that we're going to roast, and it's going to go as a decoration on top. And the acorn squash, it's nicer after roasting, in my opinion. So, what we will do, we will cut it in half. We need to take the seeds out. So, using a spoon, just take the seeds out, cut a small from the side so the actual squash can sit nicely, and we're going to roast it. We have an oven already preheated to 210 Celsius, 480 Fahrenheit, something like that. We're going to roast it until it's nicely caramelized. Beautiful. So, olive oil, pepper, salt a little bit, not too much, just for the flavor and taste, and honey to give it a nice caramelization and the intense flavor. I'm going to put a little bit honey, Ontario very nice honey, so, and some thyme. I'm going to bake it top and bottom grill, again 210 Celsius, 480 Fahrenheit, for about 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure to check on it so it's not actually going to burn. If you have too much of the caramelization, reduce a little bit the heat and give it a little bit more. In the meantime, we're going to work on the coconut base of the soup. We're going to flavor the coconut milk. You can use milk or cream, whatever you like. And also, make sure to let me know what you prefer to cook with, the cream or the milk, in the comments below. I'm using, in this case, coconut cream, but it's more like milk, in my opinion. Make sure to check the ingredients on the back of the can and look for at least 97, 98, 99% of coconut ingredients, because some of them are like diluted with water, diluted with other chemicals or preservatives, stuff like that. Try to look for the 99, 97% at least. So, we're going to open it. Smell amazing. And pour it into a pot. After pouring it into a pot, we're going to add lemongrass. Make sure before you put in your lemongrass, we need to break it a little bit, crush it, and slice it at least to 2-3 pieces because it's not going to fit. So, with the back of the knife, we're going to and try to cut it long sides. We're going to take a piece of ginger also, a little bit, not too much. You don't have to peel it, just optional, because again we're going to strain everything anyway. So cut it smaller. Garlic, 1 clove, going to crush it and roughly chop. All the rest of the garlic we're going to use in the soup itself. Now all of those ingredients we're going to put with the cream, and we're going to add, I have here a couple of pieces of Kaffir lime, also nice for the flavor and the smell. And we're going to turn on the heat, 4 out of 9 electric stove power, to a little bit develop the flavors and release all of them to the coconut. We're going to add also half of 250 300 milliliters of vegetable stock. I'm using vegetable stock, a regular one, carrot, celery, onion, and thyme. regular that I'm making, just boil everything, let it sit with the vegetables, and after that strain it. If you want, you can use a little bit water, but make sure to add some more liquids on top of the cream or the milk of the coconut. Otherwise, if you're going to cook it too much, it's going to reduce. And after that you have all the squash and everything, the soup is going to be too thick at the end. Let it cook 10 to 15 minutes. Meantime, we're waiting for the first squash. The second one, we can start working on it. So, we're going to peel it with a knife or with a peeler. We're going to cut, again, the whole part to some cubes. Everything else, we're going to use raw in the soup to give it a nice color. So, I'm going to cut the rest of the onion, the rest of the garlic. We're going to crush and also roughly chop. Now it's time to roast the pistachios, and after that we're going to roast a little bit the squash that we're going to put as the decoration on top. And roast them. You can do it also in the oven, but make sure you're not going to do it on the 210 degrees Celsius with the squash, otherwise they're going to burn before they're going to actually toast. Make it on 100 Celsius or 200 Fahrenheit, but what I like about roasting nuts in the pan is they're going to get a nice crust on outside and the color inside is getting much more intense. For the cubes of the squash, we're going to put them in a bowl meantime and marinate them with salt and a little bit black pepper and a little bit oil. Stock is already simmering, beautiful. We don't want, again, bring it to boil or nothing. Make sure the cubes are not one on top of the other, so each cube is touching the surface of the pan, and we're going to close it. So it's going to also roast and steam at the same time, so it's going to be soft and nice. From time to time, open, careful, and I'm doing this one and the nuts on the same one, 3, 4 out of 9. Same with the stock, yeah? And don't forget to check on the squash. Toothpick or cake taster, yeah? Same thing, toothpick or cake taster, just punch it. See that it's soft. It should be a little bit tough because it's still hot, you know, and it's going to keep cooking. So, just take it out to the same bowl that we marinated. Lemon zest to make it a little bit fresher. Amazing. Now time for the soup. 5.5, 6 out of 9, and we're going to start with the usual oil. And as the pot and the oil is still cold, we're going to add the garlic and the onion. Let it roast, medium heat, again 4, 5 out of 9. For the squash that we took from the oven, fork, careful, it's hot. We're going to take our middle part of the squash where we have most of the juices and start mixing, detaching some of the parts of the squash from the sides. When the garlic and the onion already nice and plus or minus golden, we're going to add the squash and straight away we're going to add white wine. With a spoon or a teaspoon, start taking all the roasted squash and adding it to the pot. When the wine is evaporated, time to add our stock. Strainer on top and strain the stock. Mix it, reduce the heat again to 4 or 5, so it's not going to boil too much and fast. Again, we want to cook and release all the flavors. We're going to add also potatoes. The potato is going to bring the smoothiness. Now we're going to let the soup cook for 10-15 minutes until the potatoes and the butternut squash are going to be cooked. Don't forget to add salt and touch of pepper. We don't want to add too much pepper because it's going to give too much color to the soup itself. Time to check the soup. Just pinch a couple of the squashes and the potatoes. See that they are actually cooked, and if they are, now we're going to bleach the soup using brown mixer. You already saw me using it a couple of times, and if you want the link, it's in the description below. So going to start blitzing, and you can turn off the heat already. Plate. Done. So, out of perspective of consistency, you can see it's very nice. And most important, time to taste. Beautiful. So, time to serve. As I said, we can serve it or cold or hot. It's your choice. So, the cold one, I like to serve in a jar. Very nice, you know, it's like drinking a drink, especially with the smooth soups and everything. And the hot one, in a plate. So, we're going to chop the pistachios and mix them in a bowl with a little bit chili flakes, you know, to give it a small kick, and shredded coconut. All together, you know, you have the white, you have the red, green from the pistachios, and the orange from the squash. Going to be nice. We have also a little bit scallion, and don't forget the squash cubes that we made before. So,